What is up, my cutouts cardboard ninja here, coming at you with changes to the previously announced balance patch. So there's a balance patch that they're proposing to come to Crossout. I already made a video on that. Maybe links in the description. I don't know if I have time. Anyway, regardless of that, they have made changes to those changes. So let's go over those really rapidly. Howl and Jockey. So for those of us who don't know, they both have the perk that says that if someone's near you, you slowly gain damage until you reach a cap at, I believe it's 10 and then 20%, respectively, between the Jockey and the Howl. So the problem is that the distance that enemies have to be near you in order for that to charge is brutally short presently at 25 meters. In the previous balance patch, they're changing the time it takes to charge to full from 10 seconds to 6 seconds, and the time it takes you to lose charge from 4 seconds. I'm sorry, 10 seconds to 8 seconds is for the time it takes to reach full charge, and time to lose charge is changing from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. In addition to that change, they are increasing the range at which the charge generates. So instead of 25 meters, which is basically inside the ass of your opponent, you're basically a fusion at that point with your opponent. Instead of that, you actually have 40 meters. That's actually a pretty good change. It's going to make that a whole lot easier to trigger. The Big Ram, apparently, when they buffed it, they were like, no, we really like the Big Rams. That's not enough. That's right. On top of the previous buffs, which was increasing the speed in walker mode by 10 kilometers an hour to match that of ML200s, which I believe is a mistake, but whatever. They're also switching the time between leg and wheel modes to 1.2 seconds instead of 1.75 seconds. Usually takes about nearly 2 seconds to swap between leg and wheel. Not anymore. Not anymore, you don't. And then in addition to that, they increased the maximum rotation angle of the wheels by 25%. That means you can turn 25% sharper when in wheel mode. This is some pretty big mobility changes. Pretty good stuff. Tracks, which includes small reinforced Sleipnir armor tank, Goliath, which is interesting, and the Meat Grinder. All of them are gaining a tonnage increase. This is not maximum mass for those of us new to the game. Tonnage is also active tonnage. Is lets you put more crap on your vehicle up to the maximum mass of your vehicle. All of these movement parts are gaining an increase to the amount of tonnage that they provide. Damn freaking right, about effing time. Like, the problem with tracks, I'm gonna minorly rant for just a very, very brief period of time. Problem with tracks is they just don't give enough tonnage. You actually need a lot of them in order to get a vehicle up and running, and if you do that, then you have so much of your actual mass put into tracks that you actually have less durability than comparable builds that simply use wheels. And so they know that, and they're increasing the amount of tonnage that each of these things gives by a marginal amount. And that's literally what they say. Changing the tonnage of tracks and augers will reduce the requirement for the amount of movement parts on their vehicle, and as a result, free up additional mass for other parts and increased mobility. Long story short, that it basically means more durability. Skinner, when they nerfed it before, they're like, okay, don't worry, if you have one Skinner, you're fine. No, F that. They're increasing the cooldown from 5 to 7 seconds. For those of us who don't know, that's like a 40% reload increase. That's insane. 5 to 7 seconds is pretty huge. They're doing that because, oh, look, no comments. They don't have any comments here. Yeah, they're doing it probably because of the fact that Skinners are still too good. But in reality, Skinners are not only good, but really reach that peak cancerous moment when there's 2 of them. Usually it's 2 or more. And that's when Skinners start getting busted. Increasing the reload is going to make it so people actually have a chance to escape from being hooked. Yokozuna. This is a change to both the Yokozuna and Cohort. And first, the Yokozuna's cooldown on their perk is reduced from 30 seconds to 25 seconds. So just so we're clear, 30-second cooldown is a very long time in Crossout. Matches are 5 minutes. That would mean that assuming that you're spamming the perk at a 30-second cooldown, that would mean that you can cast it 10 times. You can use the perk 10 times per round, assuming that you're using it every single time that you possibly can in the 5-minute period. Yeah, so this is a 5 second 5 seconds off means that you can use it, I think, like, 2 to 3 more times per match or something like that. That's a good change. And then also there's a universal change to both the Cohort and the Yokozuna, where if you have a cloaking module enabled, you no longer launch your drones. So the idea is that if you're in a heavy cabin, you go invisible, and someone decides, or specifically heavy cabin Cohort Yokozuna, and you activate your perk for damage resistance, and also for whatever reason you're invisible due to a cloaking module, So you have a chameleon mounted. This is a very niche circumstance, obviously. If an ally drives by, and on live servers right now, you'll launch a drone to assist them, which is the whole purpose of the perk. But this will decloak you. Well, they're saying, screw that, we're not decloaking you anymore. It will hold off on launching drones until after you're decloaked, if the perk is still available. A minor change. I don't know if it's a buff or a nerf. I think it's kind of a buff. Fortune. In addition to the free rotation of the weapon around its axis. Remember, it's changing from a fixed position to a rotating cannon, effectively making it a mammoth. In addition to that, they're changing rotation speed by 125%. Initially, it was like 25%. They're just like, that's super not fast enough. We want this thing spinning like a top. So it's 125% faster on rotation, and they added an upgrade, meaning when you fuse it, for 10% weapon rotation speed. They really want these things to be spinning like a top. I don't know why. But other than that, this change to the physical model should not affect any current builds. Hooray. And for those of us who are watching the market, noticing the Athena tank in price is because of this. The upcoming change, optimal range reduced from 150 to 120 meters. That's a difference of about 30 meters. So it's 30 meters less optimal. Oh wait, just kidding. It's that maximum range reduced from 250 to 200 meters. 50 meters off of that max range, bringing the Athena more in line with the Destructor for maximum range. Yeah, so for those of us unfamiliar, this thing used to cost around like 11K on the market. If I recall correctly, as of the time I'm saying this, I think it dropped by like 3K in price. It's down to like 9. Yeah, the people found out that you can more or less, not so much snipe, but you have a really good range with the Athena, and it does really good damage. It fires really quickly, and because of the fact that you could shoot so far, 250 meters, it meant that you could keep people at standoff distances and just Shrek. And so the Athena started gaining popularity, and the moment that it started gaining popularity, they are nerfing it into the ground, as one would expect. Comment, when compared to other weapons of its rarity, this revolver showed an overestimated efficiency. I don't know what that means. Other weapons of its rarity, you're saying that this thing is more efficient than mammoths, more efficient than this crazy magic fortune, more efficient than other legendary, the kaiju, the... I don't know. It doesn't feel. I don't think the Athena was that good. It was good. It wasn't that good. I don't think it was like crazy overpowered. But anyway, that's all. Those are the changes that are coming to Crossout. To the changes coming to Crossout. No, that's not an editing glitch where I said the same thing twice. These are changes to the changes that are coming to Crossout. All right, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.